Hello beautiful blockchain people. Today is Monday, that's why we will analyze the price chart of Bitcoin. Usually on Mondays we analyze the price chart of Bitcoin. So the current price is $42,506 and this is the monthly chart according to TradingView, and we are really very familiar with all these ups and downs here. Let me remind you that since the middle of November a correction started, and that's why here in the monthly time frame in the price chart we have this sequence of bearish candlesticks with descending local highs and descending local lows. So this is a bearish signal, but now we're still in the first third of the current month of February, and for now we have this small bullish candlestick. I want to highlight that this bullish candlestick still has a local high below the previous one, but it also has a local low above the previous one. Yes, this candlestick may change, but I just want to highlight that the current local low of this candlestick for the month of February is above the previous one. So at the moment, I consider this as a small signal pointing to a potential, let's say, rebound, or pointing or indicating that the bulls, let's say, it's better to say, more accurate to say that the bulls are starting to support the price at this level and they don't let the price below the previous one. So this is a small signal, once again, highlighting or showing that the bulls are starting to support the price of Bitcoin. And of course, let me remind you that this is taking place in the range of the previous local low. So this is how it looks like. So the price has rebounded from the previous local low. Let's see what happens. Once again, this candlestick may change. We have to keep an eye on the price chart of Bitcoin, but it is a small, let's say, very small positive signal. And now let's have a look at the weekly chart. Once again, let me remind you that we had a consolidation here or a local low, then we had another consolidation here on a local low, and now the price, because of the ongoing correction, hit this range, let's say, or the area of the previous two local lows, and has rebounded recently. So here I commented a couple of times on this candlestick. It is a candlestick similar to a hammer, like a hammer has a small body and a tall lower shadow. Of course, I mentioned many times that this is not the perfect hammer. It would have been really a hammer if it had, let's say, a tall lower shadow. The shadow is not that tall, but anyway, we may say that it's something similar to a hammer. So we know that a hammer is a candlestick that usually occurs at the bottom of a correction during an uptrend. That's why let's hope that this is the bottom of a potential uptrend continuation or sequence of higher lows and higher highs. So we will keep an eye on the price chart of Bitcoin, and I cross my fingers for Bitcoin. I don't want to say that this is a 100% scenario, but it seems that it's a potential scenario. And once again, let's hope that this hammer took place at the lower line of this potential uptrend. But what I want to mention, the most important thing in the weekly chart is, I even talk about this during the weekend, or it was on Friday. I want to mention once again that since the beginning of this correction, and this correction started here when we had a bearish engulfing, and it was in the middle of November. So actually this is the bearish engulfing. We were able to spot it. This was the bearish engulfing. I want to highlight that since then there has been a sequence of mainly bearish candlesticks with descending local highs and descending local lows, and I mentioned it a couple of times. Yes, here we had some kind of consolidation. The local highs and the local lows were almost at the same level, but after that the lower highs and lower lows, they resumed. Now after the hammer, we have the first candlestick, bullish one, confirmed, because today is Monday, that has a local high above the previous one and a local low above the previous one. So definitely this is an initial bullish signal, I would say, because it seems that this candlestick is trying to put an end to this sequence of mainly bearish candlesticks or candlesticks with lower highs and lower lows. So it's really very interesting, and I wanted to highlight it once again. I mentioned it during the weekend when it still was forming. But fellas, I think it's a small positive signal. Of course, I don't want to say that this is a 100% signal that now we will see a renewal of the uptrend, but this signal increases the probability that we will see a local bottom here, or at least at first sight. Of course, I want to mention that I constantly keep an eye on the price chart of Bitcoin. If something changes, if I see some kind of additional improvement, or if the situation worsens and I see some, let's say, potential bearish signal that is trying to revoke this positive small signal, I will update you immediately. But for now, I want to say this is a small bullish signal pointing to a potential, let's say, formation of a local bottom in the weekly chart, and this is a solid time frame. Now let's get to the daily chart. Okay, this is the daily chart. I talk about the daily chart and the most interesting things during the weekend and on Friday as well. Let me remind you that here we have three moving averages. The first one is the 30-day moving average, or for the period of 1 month. The price has dropped below the 30-day moving average in the second half of November, or actually in the middle of November. We were able to spot this, and I said that probably it's better to move away from the market because it's a small bearish signal. We've been following the situation since then. Here in December, there was an unsuccessful attempt for the bulls to push the price above the 30-day moving average. However, it was an unsuccessful attempt. And then the price continued to decline below the 30-day moving average. Once again, here it was, I think it was probably on Friday, this bullish candlestick was still not confirmed. This is the daily chart. I highlighted and mentioned this critical moment here, and I said the price is above $40,000 already. It was, and I even wrote a written analysis for my page where I publish this technical analysis, all my videos, because some of them they don't go to YouTube or other platforms, but there I publish everything. And I want to say that I highlighted that this is a small positive signal because the price is now above the 30-day moving average. And this is the first day, the second day, the third day. Let's see what happens in the near future. But once again, this is a small positive signal pointing to a potential, let's say, formation of a bottom. And let's cross our fingers for Bitcoin that after that we will see even a renewal of the uptrend. Because since the middle of November, this is the very first time we see the price above the 30-day moving average. So this is something nice. Okay, I think we've been talking about this enough during the weekend. Next, let's add the 3-month or 1 quarter or 90-day moving average. The price is still below the 90-day moving average. So it seems that in the midterm, in the most likely scenario, if the price continues here to increase, we will see some kind of broad consolidation in the midterm, probably. So at least this is better than having this, let's say, bearish pressure. And this is the 1-year moving average. We see that the 1-year moving average is still above the price. That's why we have to be definitely very cautious, because these two key moving averages are above the price, the current level. But we still have to understand that this is the so-called lagging technical indicators. That's why the most solid changes, they usually appears in the price chart if we use these moving averages much later. That's why I would like to highlight that the price is above the 30-day moving average. This is an initial bullish signal, and if it continues to stay above the 30-day moving average, I'm pretty sure that it will surpass sooner or later these two moving averages as well. So it's just a matter of time once again if the price remains above the 30-day moving average. But if it drops again below the 30-day moving average, this small bullish signal will disappear, and we have to, that's why we have to keep an eye on the price chart. Okay, this is the daily chart. I think everything is clear. We talk enough about it on a regular basis. Next, this is the 4-hour chart. Here we have this ascending channel that is and no longer existent because of this correction, and actually this is a downtrend in the 1-hour chart. Interestingly, as we've been talking recently about this potential breakout, it took place. The price has surpassed the resistance line or the upper line of this wedge or descending channel or downtrend. I used to say that the people see it differently. Someone claims that this is, or may say that this is a descending wedge or downtrend or a descending channel. Other people may play a little bit with the trajectory of this line and they can say that this is a wedge. It doesn't matter, it is a downtrend. But the most interesting part in the 4-hour chart is that the price is trying to exit this downtrend and to put an end to this downtrend. And if it happens, I will be really very happy, and I will update you if I see some kind of additional positive signal. But what I want to highlight, fellas, is that if you are actively trading Bitcoin and etc., keep an eye on this descending wedge. And if the price continues to remain outside of the wedge, as the longer it stays, the better for the let's say bulls or the return of the bullish sentiment. Also keep in mind that the daily chart is very important, and the 30-day moving average as well. And the longer the price remains above this moving average, the better for the market and the better for the bullish sentiment. So the probability that the bullish sentiment will return will increase. So this is what I'm keeping an eye on the price chart of Bitcoin. So fellas, that's it for today. Once again, since the, let's say, the beginning of the weekend, or since Friday, when the price surpassed the 30-day moving average, small bullish signal starts to appear for the very first time since the middle of November. Let's cross our fingers for the market. Let's hope that these bullish signals remain in place and they don't disappear. Once again, this is just my point of view. Please share your point of view as a comment below. If I see something new, I will update you. Have a wonderful day. Good luck in the financial markets. Have a productive week, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.